RealEducation, RealEducation, SciFunaging, RealEducation, RealEducation, yeah. The real side chain, the real side butter chain. The fool.
That was good, Phil. In the beginning there, you said you were walking on like bricks.
Yes, it was a brick path with kind of like mixed colorations of bricks.
Like what color? Like
There were some reds. There were mostly reds, but there were tans. Kind of like, maybe they weren't even red. They might have been like a reddish brown, and there was some mixed in tan.
Okay.
I think that's all.
All right, and then eventually, as you walked along the path, at a certain point, there was grass. Was that it?
Correct. Yeah, as the statues got closer to from the edge, at first they were far away, and as we walked down, they would appear closer and closer. And once they were getting close enough to where they were coming in the focus, the ground around us was starting to phase in as well, as if we could now step off the path, which before we couldn't because there was nothing.
So, in other words, now you were walking on grass. Now, were there statues on both sides, or just right or left? Or
both sides.
Both sides. So,
like perfect symmetry.
Yeah. So, in other words, it seemed like the pathway was narrowing. Is that the idea? The closeness of the statues that you were walking.
Yeah, that's good. The path itself wasn't, but the fact that the statues were closing in on both sides, that's what it felt like, narrowing.
Now, before the distraction there, if you were to look further on, was it still open to where you could just keep walking?
Yes, it was, but the further you looked out, the hazier it was, as if things didn't render in, I guess is the best way to put it, till you got closer to it.
Right, okay. So, it's all very simple. So, I'm assuming you saw the movie Wizard of Oz with Judy Garland.
Yes, I've seen that.
Okay. And remember the point where the Good Witch told us, follow the yellow brick road. Okay. So, you're on a brick road. The idea is follow the brick road. This road is a little bit different, okay? It's according to basically your path where you're at right now, you see. So again, you have the physical part, which is the bricks or whatever, but then like the Wizard of Oz, there's the fantasy and the magic and, the fun stuff there, the kids stuff there that's kind of mixed in. There's the idea, follow the yellow brick road. And so eventually you see all these statues and they're there and their hands are in the air. You see the moon. The moon represents the emotions, and the moon itself is not a planet. It is a satellite. It is manufactured by the reptilians. And their hands are all towards the sky. Well, again...
You want to repeat that one, bro?
What?
Did you say the moon was a satellite?
Yeah, it's a satellite.
What? This is new lore.
Well, you need to come up to speed, Eric, so I'm going to mute you and just listen. Okay. So the idea here is that you're seeing these statues, and they're more so, in other words, gradually they're coming more into view because you're becoming more aware of these individuals that have tried to go along the same path, but they're frozen. Do you see that, Phil? They're
Yes.
frozen
Yes.
in time, and their hands are towards the sky. Well, especially religious people, what do they do when they're praying? They look towards the sky, don't they? They look far away. They're not looking at their own awareness because they don't know that they're awareness, so they think that there's some God in the clouds up there, etc. So that's why they're looking. So they're frozen in time. And then you see your friend Zach, he goes so far, then all of a sudden Zach becomes a statue. Well, because of his personal self and how he set himself up and decided he too has become frozen in time. And he is showing with his mannerism, his body, etc. What his position is, and then the two other people that are with you. Well, they're fascinated by that. It's only obvious, and so they want to hang around and do that too. Now, as you look further on the path, see, now all of a sudden you get off the bricks and it becomes grass. Now, grass is natural, all right? It's something natural. And as you look forward, it's kind of hazy and foggy. That's because, as you're walking along, it's always the unknown. Just like you'd see in some movie to where a person is walking out there in an alley or the darkness or whatever, and they can't quite see. And that's what it is that until you become aware, it's always something unknown to you. It's something that you don't know. But in the meantime, you're given this experience showing you all the people that have come along the path and how far they have made it and how they become frozen with their position. And your friend there, he's showing you that too. So this is a good experience for you. And you see that, all of a sudden you have this other pair of shoes on. The shoes represent the physical body. That's your feet. Different parts of your body represent your 5 bodies, and the feet represent the physical body. Well, at first you're drawn towards that, etc. But the real you wakes up and says no, because you are the controller. Your physical body is something that you created. It's your puppet. And your puppet, because it's routined a particular way, wants to go that way, but the real you doesn't. And so you pulled it back, you see? And so you wanted to so-called stay on the path. In other words, it's not really the path, it's just that you wanted to keep going into the unknown, so the experience there ends. The reason the experience there ends is that this is to show you what happens when you get distracted. And it can be anything. It doesn't have to be that. That's just something that, many people are attached to, and I understand we all go through it. We all go through all these things. But this is just something, and it can be anything, all right? It could be money, it could be lust, it could be, career, it can be fame, it can be whatever, it doesn't matter. You get distracted, you become frozen in time, you see? And so basically the arms up looking to the sky, even people that so-called don't believe in religion, when they have certain things happen in their life or a loved one passes or they're ready to die or whatever it is, many times all of a sudden they'll go to religion and they'll start begging a God for help, even though they so-called didn't believe in it during their lifetime. And so again, this is where people usually end up, their arms up. It's like a person throwing his arms up in the air, the old saying, well, I'm going to throw my arms up. In other words, I give up. There's that too. It's like, okay, I'm going to throw in the towel. I throw my arms up. It's an old saying. In other words, this is what's happening. But basically, they're frozen in time. They went so far during that lifetime, and then they became frozen until they create another body in a lifetime and try again. So this was a very good experience for the film. Yeah. And also, again, like Erickson, and each time you have these experiences, of course, they're not like your physical life. Because see, you're programmed in your physical life. This is what most people don't understand. Even people that are in religion, spiritual paths, whatever, they don't understand that they are programmed. They are programmed with ideas. If it's God, Savior, spiritual initiations, whatever it is, heavens, what have you. This is programming. These are identities created. This is programming. That's not awareness. Okay, that's something totally different. Just like your physical body, and it needs air, but the air is totally different than your physical body. Even though your physical body needs the air, it's a totally different thing. And you really can't pin it down, describe it, catch it, or whatever. All you can do is breathe it. And so the reality life is, the awareness is like that, but it's a recognition. It's recognizing that, and that's what takes a lot. Until you do, you see how the attention goes. It's very important to see this. And that is that then you become frozen. You become frozen in time when you're distracted. And so this is what takes a lot. This is why I said the 50 years and that, and good luck with that. And that is that to develop a focus to where you can see this isness, allness, that's huge. Because you have creation to get through, which helps you, which is necessary. And the personal self, it's all necessary. But at the same time, it's a distraction. And you have to figure that out. You have to face yourself. You have to figure that out. And as long as you're self-convinced by your personal self, just like you saw here, your friend was self-convinced. He went with what he decided, that's being self-convinced, and he became frozen in time. And this is what's not understood either. You're not going to find this in any school, what I'm telling you, because they don't know. Okay? Very few people, if any, on this planet have the awareness to see this and really understand it. They're going to give you cliche answers that sound good, etc., but it's all going to entail your personal self, and you'll be frozen there. Oh, you can be a good person. You can be wonderful, whatever. But the thing is that you won't be aware. You'll be frozen in time. And so this is a very good experience, Phil. Yeah. And there's a lot more to it, too. But that's very, very good. Thank you for sharing.
Absolutely. Thank you, Duane. I appreciate it.
That's an experience you'll want to carry with you your whole life, because it's a very good reference, because this life is very easy, each lifetime is very easy to stay stuck in, and there's something so much, much better. And again, as the statues come together, the idea is that it becomes narrower and narrower. In other words, we'll use the path idea. The path becomes narrower, and it's the old saying called the razor's edge. There was a movie with Tyrone Power. It's an old one.
I know a thing or two about edging.
Yeah, it's called the razor's edge. So in other words, when you're able to walk the edge like a razor, that's how the path becomes. It becomes so narrow, and those that don't, well, you can imagine what happens if they don't walk it. Yeah. So again, that's what it becomes. The focus has to be so in tune with what's real, and that's the idea of the razor's edge. Yeah, but it's more than that. It's awareness. So we use some of these old cliches, but you really have to come into now, and that is recognize what's really going on now with what all life is. So these things were used before, and they're good references, but a lot of people get hooked up in them. They get, becomes tradition and ceremonies and rituals, becomes a lot of nonsense. Again, it becomes a distraction. So it doesn't matter what the distraction is, you become frozen in time because of it. Like people waiting for Jesus, they're frozen in time, and they'll just keep going lifetime after lifetime looking for Jesus. Yeah, he's out there somewhere, but they're just chasing the idea not the reality of what he was presenting, they don't know what the heck that is. So there's a difference, you see?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the difference. And so, but it's all taken over. All these things become taken over. Just like I saw when Paul, created Eckankar, and then Darwin and Harold came along. Well, the reptilians took it over, and this is how it is in the lower worlds. It's just a reference, not a reality. So when I'm presenting, I never decided a teaching or a path or doctrines or any of this nonsense. What I've created is references to the real universes. And that becomes a difference. They're just simply references. They're not authorities. They're not absolutes. So when you look at anything in this world, if it's politics, religion, spiritual, gods, whatever, people look at these things as absolutes. Like it's like, oh, this is it. There's nothing else, etc. No, it's a fallacy. These are just ideas. These are bubbles. And the true reality life is endless awareness, and you have to recognize that, and that's something else. So, but again, you're the decider, and again, that's a very, very good experience. Thank you, Phil. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Real side king, real side Burger King, real side king, real side Burger King. Rebazar out here grilling, what he making, no faking. He's making a fat patty, sharp-boiled awareness. We looking for that real side Burger King, real side king, real side Burger King. Real side king, real side Burger King. Needless now out here grilling, what he making, no faking. He's making a fat patty, sharp-boiled wellness. We looking for that real side Burger King, real side chain, real side Burger King, real side chain, real side Burger King. Real side chain, real side Burger chain. Real side chain, real side Burger chain. Real side king, real side Burger King. Real side king, real side Burger King. Real side king, real side Burger King, side Burger King, real side king, real side Burger King. The real side king, real side Burger King. The fool.